I am one of those people who believes that the solution to the world's problems is to be found behind the Iron Curtain. Man really attains the state of complete humanity when he produces, without being forced by physical need to sell himself as a commodity. Let me say that the true revolutionary is guided by a great feeling of love. It is impossible to think of a genuine revolutionary lacking this quality. Passion is needed for any great work, and for the revolution passion and audacity are required in big doses. I now know by an unbelievable coincidence of fate that I am destined to travel against brute force and the injustice. The people will have the last word, that of victory. How easy it is to govern when one follows a system of consulting the will of the people, and one holds as the only normal the actions which contribute to the well-being of the people. The only passion that guides me is for the truth. I look at everything from this point of view. The people's heroes cannot be separated from the people, cannot be elevated onto a pedestal into something alien to the lives of that people. This revolution has always relied on the willingness of the Cuban people. If you can tremble with indignation every time an injustice is committed in the world, then we are comrades. Our efforts are focused on the push for unity amongst the world's underdeveloped nations in order to present a coherent front. In 1961, on the Cuban Revolution, we are face to face with history, and quite simply we must not be afraid. We must maintain the same enthusiasm and faith that we have up to now. And if it were said of us that we're almost romantics, that we are incorrigible idealists, that we think the impossible 1,001 times, we have to answer, yes, we are. Man really attains the state of complete humanity when he protests without being forced by physical need to sell himself as a commodity. And if it were said of us that we're almost romantics, that we are incorrigible idealists, that we think the impossible 1,001 times, we have to answer, yes, we are. Much more valuable than rural recruits for our Cuban guerrilla force were American media recruits to export our propaganda. If you tremble with indignation at every injustice, then you are a comrade of mine. We must eliminate all newspapers. We cannot make a revolution with free press. We executed many people by firing squad without knowing if they were fully guilty. At times, the revolution cannot stop to conduct much investigation. What we affirm is that we must proceed along the path of liberation, even if this costs millions of atomic victims. My nostrils dilate while savoring the acrid color of gunpowder and blood. I'd like to confess, Papa, at the moment I discovered that I really like killing. If the missiles had remained, we would have used them against the very heart of the United States, including New York. We must never establish a peaceful coexistence. Youth must refrain from ungrateful questioning of governmental mandates. Instead, they must dedicate themselves to study work and military service. Youth should learn to think and act as a mass. While addressing the UN General Assembly on December 9, 1960 for executions, certainly we execute and we will continue executing as long as it is necessary. This is a war to the death against the revolution's enemies. And if it were said of us that we're almost romantics, that we are incorrigible idealists, that we think the impossible than 1,001 times we have to answer yes, we are.